Hi everyone. So yes, today Global Chess League started in Dubai. There are many great players like Carlsen, Nepo, Gukesh, Aronian. But yeah, the most exciting news is the return of Vishwanand Anand after 6 months of absence. And I'll show a very interesting game he played against Duda. Yes, and it was rapid game, 15 plus 10. Let's quickly jump into the game. Anand started with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and after bishop to b5, Duda goes for Berlin defense. d3 was played, anti-Berlin opening, now bishop to c5, and here Anand took the knight on c6. Also playable is c3, castle, castle, and d6. But yes, this is also a good move to take on c6. Now here it's very important to take with d pawn, because if we take with the b pawn, then of course we can take this pawn here. But in this position, if we take with d pawn, we cannot take here, because queen to d4, yes, and knight is lost, or otherwise here it's checkmate if knight goes back. This is knight checkmate. So d takes c6, and now Anand brings other knight to d2, knight d7, knight jumps on c4. This is very well-known theory in Berlin, castle. Yes, and here again we cannot take, because the same problem would emerge, queen d4. So white just castles, rook e8, and here the main move is bishop to d2, but Anand played king to h1. And here f6, knight goes to h4. The plan is to go here to f5, knight f8, and black's plan is to go here, knight e3, knight g6, and now knight jumps to f5. So very good square for the knight. Bishop takes knight, knight takes bishop, and bishop to e6 was played here, that black can connect rooks and queen. Here b3, very good move, and after queen to d4, yes, Anand decided to bring his rook to b1 and try to harass queen with bishop to b2. Rook a to d8 was played, centralizing rooks, of course, very good move. Bishop to b2, queen d6, and here f3 was played. The plan is to go like this, to advance on king side, c5, g3, b5, and yes, and black plan is to advance here on the queen side. Queen e2, rook d7, nice kind of waiting maneuvering moves. Queen goes to c6, and here Anand goes for attack with h4. c4, now here in this position Anand just took a pawn, and after bc4 he took with a pawn. He didn't want to exchange too many pieces, because then it will be more probability for a draw. Queen to c5 was played. Now rook goes back to f1, and rook e to d8 was played to double here and threaten to go to d2. So because of that, bishop to c3 was played to prevent rook to d2. And here queen to a3 actually was slight inaccuracy, because after simple rook to b3, of course, black cannot take this, because after rook to a1, queen would be lost like that. So after rook to b3, queen to a6 was played. And here Anand goes with h5 move. But actually in this position, computer suggests very nice move. Rook to b5, and after knight e7, a4, again we cannot take here, because rook to a1 would be played, and after a4, yes, white has great position with rook here, pawns advancing, and white is better. But again, h5 was played. Here knight e7, h6, very good move. White wants to soften this king and pawns around him. Here knight to c6 was played, but funnily enough, computer suggests knight to c8. Now we take a pawn and knight to d6. So actually to attack this c4 point, that was the point of computer. But knight to c6 anyway, and here a rook to e1 was played. There's very nice line suggested by the computer here, rook f to b1, doubling here, and let's say after knight to d4, bishop takes e d4, knight can jump here on d5. If bishop takes, of course we cannot take like that because queen would be lost, so e d5, and rook takes, again we cannot take, but now very nice move, rook to b8 was played. Of course we cannot take because this would be check, and yes, that would be horrible. So here rook to h5, king g2, queen d6, now rook goes to b5, rook takes, rook d8, queen d8, and here not taking right away this rook on b5, but queen to e6 check, and after king to h8, now cb5, and actually in this position white is better. So yeah, but 10 move long variation suggested by the computer. In Rapid, yes, quite impossible to find that deep, kind of deep move line, sorry. So here knight d4 was played, bishop takes, and here also possible, actually in the game, Duda took with the rook, but also possible was take with the pawn, knight d5, c6, knight goes here, and after queen takes pawn, knight d3. Computer says that this is also fine for black, I mean, and also for white. But yes, rook took here, hg7, and rook to d2 here was played. Actually, better would be just to take this pawn, and after knight takes, queen takes, rook takes, just rook to e2, and yes, and black is fine here, but rook to d2 was played. But now very nice move by Anand, queen goes to f1, and here a little bit risky, yes. Duda took the pawn on g7, and now his troubles will emerge. g4, and already again inaccuracy, queen to a5. Computer suggests h5, and if we take a pawn, yes, king to f7 is the correct and very nice move. If black would play rook here to go for this pawn, then this actually would be a disaster. After queen to g1 check, king f7, queen g6 check, king e7, and yes, after queen to g7 we can pick this rook. So this wasn't possible. So queen to a5 was played, but now very good move by Anand, queen to g1. And yes, we already threatened some tricks with knight to f5, takes and check, and all sorts of stuff. Here, computer suggests to play h6 like this, but Duda very interestingly goes for king to g6. Even try to go for even worse square than this on g7. So now very good move by Anand, queen to g3, and here computer suggests playing like queen to c5, queen h4, h6, and after this check, actually king is not in that big danger on h7. But here Duda made a mistake and he took a pawn on a2. But now very beautiful move by Anand, just g5. Yes, and the point is that after f g5, Anand took on e5, and after queen to a6, another great move by Anand, f4. Here computer suggests queen to d6, and after f5 check, king h5, but yes, queen takes, rook takes d6. This is also hopeless position, but actually after f4, Duda took on f4, and this is a disaster. Here even computer calculates mate in 8. I can give you a couple of seconds if you can find it. Yes, so in this position Anand played knight to d5, but this wasn't mate in 8. The mate in 8 would be like this, knight here to f5. Now, yeah, the computer suggests desperate moves like rook to h2. Now we take rook d2, king goes here, and now again rook h2, king takes, and now bishop can take here, ef5, king goes here, and then queen e8, maybe king here, queen e7, and after king to g8, rook to b8 check, Yes, I almost forgot that we have rook here. And after queen to c8, this would be a checkmate. So very nice checkmate. But again, Anand went for, with only a couple of seconds on the clock, went for knight to d5, which is also a very good move. Also possible, of course, was, and winning was rook to g1. And here Duda took the knight, but now after a simple rook to g1, Duda resigned. Yes, let's see how game could continue. If king goes here, then just rook to g7 check, and after king to f8, this would be actually checkmate. So yeah, very happy that Anand returns. He's an amazing player, and very happy also for that league to start. It will be very exciting week. Guys, thank you for watching. As always, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.